Welcome back, folks, to Eternal Crusader, and today we are talking about snakes. We humans have long been fascinated by snakes, a fascination that stretches back to biblical times and even further into prehistory. This captivation is evident in the myriad of myths, legends, and religious texts that feature serpents as central figures, symbolizing everything from wisdom and rebirth to danger and chaos. The awe inspired by giant snakes and the hunt for these ancient reptiles has sparked the imagination of countless generations. We humans still tend to look for them, being fascinated with these reptiles and the possibility of creatures like the Titanoboa still being around in our times. These prehistoric predators, embodying raw and untamed nature, represent the primal fears and the reverence humans have for the power of the natural world. The allure of these colossal serpents, whether seen as guardians of forbidden knowledge or as monstrous adversaries to be vanquished, continues to intrigue and inspire people, reflecting a deep-seated fascination with the mysteries and dangers that lie beyond the known world. Robert E. Howard's Hyborian Age teems with ancient evils and arcane mysteries, none more compelling than the sinister presence of snakes and serpent men. These elements infuse Howard's tales, especially those featuring Conan the Barbarian, with an atmosphere of lurking dread and primeval menace. Who doesn't remember the iconic encounter Conan had in the Schwarzenegger movie with a giant snake in the Tower of the Serpent, a cult led by Thulsa Doom? This thrilling moment where Conan battles the monstrous serpent captures the raw power and danger these creatures represent. Thulsa Doom himself later reveals his true nature as a serpent man, shifting into a snake to escape the carnage. The Serpent Men, first slithering into Howard's universe in the cult stories like the Shadow Kingdom, are the remnants of a pre-human civilization. Masters of deception, they possess the chilling ability to take human form, infiltrating societies to manipulate and corrupt from within. Their true forms are reptilian, with scaled bodies, forked tongues, and eyes that glow with malevolent intelligence. However, their most terrifying ability is their power to assume human guise. This shape-shifting capability allows them to infiltrate human societies, often taking on positions of power and influence. Devotees of the serpent god Set, these beings weave dark magic and ancient wisdom into their schemes, striving to resurrect their lost dominion. The Serpent Men were created countless eons ago by the Great Serpent itself. Over time, a cultural split occurred within their ranks, resulting in a faction known as the Man-Serpents. One such Man-Serpent is the central figure in the Conan story, the God in the Bowl. The first empire of the Serpent people during the Paleozoic era was centered in Valusia, a fictional country in the cult stories. These tales recount the Serpent Men's attempt to reconquer the world around 20,000 years ago, during the reign of King Kull from Atlantis over the Valusian Kingdom, located on the west coast of the main continent of Thuria. The ancient Serpent Empire, built on sorcery and alchemy, collapsed with the rise of the dinosaurs approximately 225 million years ago, during the Triassic era. Initially, the Serpent Men ruled over humans in Valusia, but were nearly wiped out in humanity's struggle against even older entities known as the Elder Things. As humans came to dominate Valusia, the Serpent Men faded into legend. Yet, a few surviving Serpent Men infiltrated human society, ruling covertly until they were discovered and expelled in a secret war. They later resurfaced, using a snake cult religion as a front to gain power and influence within Valusia. By disguising themselves, they managed to murder or replace reigning monarchs. Their covert rule was eventually challenged and broken by King Kull, the Atlantean barbarian who had recently taken control of Valusia, and Brule the Spear Slayer, a Pict aware of the Serpent Men's infiltration. After Valusia's fall, the Serpent Men retreated to caverns underneath the earth and constructed their cities deep below. Snakes in the Hyborian Age are not mere creatures, they are potent symbols of Set, a deity representing darkness, treachery, and malevolent sorcery. Set's influence is particularly strong in Stygia, a kingdom reminiscent of ancient Egypt, where he is worshipped in the form of a giant serpent. Throughout history, snakes have slithered through the myths and legends of diverse cultures, embodying a range of profound and complex symbols. From creation and immortality to evil and chaos, these strange reptile creatures have left an indelible mark on the history of ancient civilizations and humankind. As an example, in ancient Egypt, snakes were seen as both protectors and harbingers of chaos. The cobra, particularly the uraeus, was a symbol of royal authority and divine protection. The goddess Wadjet, often depicted as a cobra, was the guardian of the pharaohs, embodying their divine right to rule. Conversely, the serpent Apophis was the embodiment of chaos. Each night, this colossal serpent attempted to devour the sun god Ra during his journey through the underworld, symbolizing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. In Greek mythology, snakes often represent renewal and transformation. The rod of Asclepius, entwined with a single serpent, became a universal symbol of medicine and healing, reflecting the god Asclepius' association with medical arts. Yet, snakes also represent danger and cunning. Medusa, one of the Gorgons, had hair of living snakes and a gaze that turned onlookers to stone, her serpentine features underscoring her lethal nature. In Mesopotamian mythology, snakes were linked to fertility and the underworld. The Sumerian god Ninshitsta, associated with vegetation and the underworld, was depicted as a serpent, symbolizing life, death, and rebirth. In Hindu mythology, snakes, or nagas, are revered and feared in equal measure. These semi-divine beings capable of assuming human or serpent forms are linked to water, fertility, and also the underworld. In Celtic mythology, snakes are revered for their association with rebirth, healing, and the cyclical nature of life. The Celts observed the snake's ability to shed its skin and saw it as a powerful symbol of regeneration and renewal. This act was interpreted as a metaphor for the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, central to Celtic spirituality. Snakes were also linked to healing and wisdom. The Druids, the priestly class in ancient Celtic societies, revered the snake for its knowledge of the earth and its regenerative powers. Some legends suggest that the Druids could communicate with serpents to gain esoteric knowledge. Archaeological finds at various Celtic sites, such as the Gundestrup cauldron, depict serpents alongside deities, indicating their importance in religious iconography. The presence of snakes in these contexts suggests their role as protectors of sacred spaces and conveyors of divine wisdom. The horned god Cernunnos is often depicted with serpents, particularly horned serpents in ancient Celtic art. This association ties snakes to themes of fertility, nature, and the underworld, further emphasizing their multifaceted role in Celtic mythology. In Germanic mythology, serpents and dragons often symbolize chaos, destruction, the underworld, and also guardianship. One of the most significant serpents in Norse mythology, a subset of Germanic mythology, is Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent. This giant snake, a child of the trickster god Loki, encircles the world and is fated to battle Thor during Ragnarok, the end of the world. Jörmungandr's role underscores the association of serpents with cosmic chaos and the cyclical nature of time. In the Völsunga saga, Fafnir is a dwarf who transforms into a dragon to guard his hoard of treasure. This story symbolizes greed and the corrupting power of wealth. Fafnir's eventual slaying by the hero Sigurd is a classic tale of good overcoming evil. Nidhogg is another significant serpentine figure in Norse mythology. This dragon gnaws at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree, symbolizing decay and destruction. Yet, Nidhogg also plays a role in the cosmic balance, as its actions are part of the natural order. Serpents and dragons in Germanic lore are not solely negative. They can serve as guardians of treasures or sacred sites, highlighting a dual aspect of both protection and danger. This ambivalence reflects the complex nature of serpents as both revered and feared creatures. So, one can clearly see where Howard got the idea for snake cults and the worship of snakes from. It rhymes with many ancient cultures of our own history, where serpents symbolized both reverence and fear. Stygia and the Serpent Men of Hyboria are just one part of this intricate tapestry. There are even links to the Cthulhu Mythos, as the Serpent Men and their deities like Yaga and Chautauqua are part of the pantheon of Lovecraftian horrors. These connections highlight the shared themes of ancient hidden evils and the omnipresent threat of these malevolent forces lurking beneath the surface of human civilization. Well, folks, once again, thank you for listening. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, and do, as our favorite Cimmerian would do, crush that subscribe button, see bad YouTube content driven before you, and hear the lamentations of YouTubers who are too weak to enjoy sword and sorcery. Till next time.